and every organ creates to the another organ. Each and every element creates to the another element. Now I am giving the connectivity to the whole universe of the body system. The whole body to be regulated by the production cycle. Now we all know this is the fire horary point is H8, mother point H9, and then sun point H7. Now this is fire creates to the earth, that means is the heart creates to the spleen. Now which is the, here is the earth point, here is the fire point. I connect each other. So just I connect each other to regulate the fire creates to the earth. That means the H7, once you applied that connecting to the fire point, here is the earth point, here is the fire point, right? So whether I told you apply the H7 or spleen 2, both the functions are same and normal functions. So if you apply spleen 2, that is the mother point of the spleen, that takes the energy from the heart. If you apply H7, that decreases the energy of the spleen, that energy passes to the spleen. This passes, H7 you applied, that energy, arrow mark, you just have a arrow mark from here to here, where it goes, spleen 2. Arrow indicating the signals it gives as a direction. Here is nothing, no direction, but I have given the direction towards here to complete the cycle. That means is a spleen 2. Spleen 2 arrow it gives the energy, providing the energy to that particular organ. From where? From where it started the arrow? From the heart. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ? ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಕೀಪ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್, that will be really helpful. Now this is spleen 3 horary point. Then I take the energy, that means the spleen produces the lungs, the earth produces the metal or the air element. Now which is the air point here, which is the air point here, which is the earth point here? Yes, connect to both. So you just connect to both. That means spleen 5 is the sedative point, then LU9 is the mother point. यहाँ पे इस एलिमेंट पे, अर्थ एलिमेंट पे आपको एयर एलिमेंट को, एयर पॉइंट को सेलेक्ट कर लो, और यहाँ पे आपको अर्थ पॉइंट को सेलेक्ट कर लीजिए. दिस इज द अर्थ पॉइंट, दिस इज द मेटल पॉइंट, इट कनेक्ट्स ईच अदर. दैट मीन्स spleen 5 is the sun point, but LU9 is the mother point. If you apply spleen 5, that decreases the energy, but that passes energy to the lungs. If you apply LU9, that receives the energy from the spleen to strengthen to the lung system. Yes or no? Then we'll come to the, this is as a lungs. Sun point, which is the water point here, which is the air point here, K7. Then connect each other. If you apply LU5, it depletes the energy of the lungs, that passing energy to the kidneys. समझ में आ रहा है इमरान? Then further, this energy, that means the water produces the wood. In that condition, which is the water point, wood point is here, which is the water point is here. So liver 8 is equivalent to the K1. If you apply K1, that depletes the energy of the kidney, then that energy passes to the liver. Liver 8 is the mother point, K1 is the sun point. This is sun point, this is the mother point. Now if the heart is deficiency, I need to strengthen by activating the energy from the liver. So which is the, here is the fire point, here is the wood point. Then connect to this, H9 is the mother point, liver 2 is the sun point. It depletes the energy of the liver that goes. Therefore liver 2 is equivalent to the H9. H9 it receives the energy, liver 2 decreases the energy of the liver to strengthen to the heart system. This called as a Schenck cycle or production cycle. So I just keep the silent for 1 minute because prayer call is going on here. That means the controlling cycle. if the heart is deficiency, mother point you just activate. Which is the mother point? Yes, H9. Now if the heart is creates to the earth creates to the metal, but this is the fire creates to the earth, then the fire controls to the metal or air. Now you connect from here is the fire point, but here is the metal point, here is the fire point. You just connect each other. This to be known as a H4, this is Lu10. Do you know this is the air point? After the H7, I told you that monogram, what we call as a hexagram. Samajh mein aa raha hai Hanif sahab? So H4 connecting to the lungs, that means here is the metal point, here is the fire point. Opposite, each other is opposite, you try to understand. Now the metal controls to the, metal cuts to the wood. Then here is the wood point, then here is the air point. Connect each other. This to be known as a control cycle. Here is Lu11, here is liver 4. Then the wood controls to the earth. Then here is the earth point, here is the wood point. Regulate each other. This is liver 3, this is spleen 1. Then the earth controls to the water. Then here is the water point, here is the earth point. Connect each other. Here is K3, here is spleen 9. Then the water controls to the fire. Water extinguishes to the fire. Here is the fire point, here is the water point. Connect each other. This is K2, this is H3. Now the whole control cycle and then Schenck cycle, co-cycle. So this to be known as a laws of acupuncture. The laws of acupuncture, we says that this to be regulating to the entire body. This to be known as a command points. If one organ, for example, now fire is deficiency, that time you activated the H3. That means you activated the H9 is the mother point, which is the grandmother point. H3, grandmother point. H3. Either you use H3 or you use K2. Cross check the kidney. Rather than using the H3, the problem is on the foot region, not on the hand region. H3 is located on the elbow. The problem is more on the foot region or leg region. Rather than H3, which point you select? K2. Use the K2 point. Would be better than the H3. If the problem is only the heart problem, then there is no problem in the legs. Rather than using K2, better you use K3. That means the H3 would be better than the K2, or vice versa. Or because the diseases are manifestation in one place, but the causative core problem is somewhere, then you just focus and treat the K2 to regulate the cardiac system, to regulate both the systems like a renal system and also there is a cardiac system together to be activated.